In this week's visit to the museum, Tom Estrada discovered someone who has modeled his life with a healthy mix of reality and fantasy.
When I was a young boy, I used to enjoy putting together model planes and ships and things like that. I tried my best to be as detail-oriented as I could with the colors and the decals and all those things. But what I did was nothing compared to this.
What you're looking at is a true flight of fancy, whimsy, history, artistry, and creation. It's an exhibit by a modeler named Bill Wardrop, who for the past 25, 30 years has been building models, not kit models, models of science fiction, historical models of anything that flies, sinks, floats, rolls, you name it, he can build it. Some of his material, some of his most outstanding material, like this, the Admiral du Pierre, is a pure fantasy model where Bill is inspired by anything and everything which speaks to the imagination of man and his ability to imagine and create. Bill was a former modeler for Ford and GM, building concept cars out of cardboard, and he learned his technique of super glue, if you believe it or not, backer pads of notepads, super glue, and paint. And that's what all his models are built of. They're not kit models. He individually makes each and every singular part. The Admiral du Pierre behind me is 600 plus hours of work, very intense work, and 2,000 plus individually crafted parts. Why don't we show you some of his other models? The two major responses to this gallery, two words. Wow, followed by how. Right. So let's take a look. Not only are Bill's models aesthetically pleasing to look at, many of them are functional. This is his HMS Thunderchild from H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, and this model actually floats and runs. He installed an RC model kit in it, and because it's made of super glue and cardboard, it's naturally buoyant and waterproof. Fantastic model. Not only can you look at it, you can drive it. This is one of Bill's what is it models, or what if models. A fellow modeler challenged Bill to build something to see if it would work. And they'd wondered whether or not a dragonfly could actually fly if man built a model replicating one. And believe it or not, this once upon a time did have a motor in it, and it did fly. Not for very long and not very well, but it was one of Bill's more challenging works. Once again, if someone asked Bill to build something, he certainly will. This is one of the models that Bill attained his inspiration through his love of science fiction and history. As you can see from the book cover, From the Earth to the Moon, a famous book by Jules Verne, where Jules Verne proposed in the middle of the Civil War, why doesn't man take all of his ability to create weaponry and technology and put it to better means rather than trying to destroy one another, and let's go to the moon instead, put all our technology and creativity to better use. Jules Verne was inspired by that. He wrote the book, and then later on, while Bill was growing up, he read Jules Verne's book and was inspired to build a model of Jules Verne's rocket train. This is Bill's first model, the Nautilus, from Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. As I mentioned earlier, Bill was very much frustrated that no one made a kit model, so when he learned his unique modeling technique, he just built his own, and that's Jules Verne's Nautilus. Bill is also very historically oriented. He wants to make things right, do them right, the way they should appear. So he's created an evolution of American submarines, the Hunley at the top, and its two precursors, the American Diver and the American Pioneer, which I did not know existed until Bill brought the gallery to us, and I said, wow, the Confederates had more than one submarine. Bill also introduced to us two other submarines that the Union developed during the American Civil War, which I did not know about. Two very unique creations. The first version of the Alligator, which had paddles, which was a silly thing. When they saw it in the water for the first time, they thought it was a giant alligator, hence the name, the Alligator.
Pretty amazing stuff, huh? If you want to see it for yourself, you better get over here pretty quick because it's going to shut down July 5th. For TV 23, I'm Tom Estrada at the Southern Museum in Kennesaw.
If you would like to see the William Wardrop collection for yourself, hurry to the Southern Museum in Kennesaw. The exhibit closes on July 5th. For more information on the Southern Museum, visit southernmuseum.org.